I bought the Kuiu Rival turkey vest because the pack on the back actually looks like it has enough storage space for all the things I like to take out for an all-day hunt. But it has one feature that I am just pretty skeptical about. And by the end of this video, you and I are gonna find out if it has any merit. So this is the Kuiu Rival turkey vest, and I got the medium large size, which is like one size. I don't understand why companies do that, like just call it large or 2X or medium and extra large or whatever. But anyway, the medium large size, it weighs like 2.5 pounds, which is super cool. There's like not much to it at all. And there's actually something in here that I'm gonna throw out in a second, and it's actually gonna save me a little bit more weight, which is super cool. So this is very lightweight. I wasn't planning on buying Kuiu's turkey vest because it's really expensive, frankly. But I was looking at it on their site and I noticed that the pack is very large. And I wanted a much larger pack than I had on any other turkey vest that I've owned in the past. And this caught my eye and I decided to just dive in and see if it really was as big as I hoped it was going to be. A large pack matters to me for all day sits, and I'll get into that more in a second. But first, there's one feature on this that I just don't know how it's going to actually work in real life, and that is these foot straps. I haven't tested these yet, but by the end of this video, I'm going to, and you and I are gonna learn together whether I think there's any merit to them. I think this is really gonna support the way that I like to hunt, because I do a lot of running and gunning, and I tend to go out all day when I go turkey hunting. I just really try to take the day and just go and see where the day takes me. One of my favorite things about turkey season is just wandering and going miles and miles and miles for nothing, and then finding a gobbler or something interesting and getting onto it. So for that, I always found the pack size on other vests I've owned to be a limitation, because they're really more like glorified water pouch packs, and I needed something bigger. They just were not enough, to be totally transparent. Normal turkey packs or vests, really, they have compartments for calls and things, you know, like this has on the front, right? But then on the back, because they don't have a lot of space, it just doesn't work well for an all-day setup for me, because I need space for extra water, extra food, and layers, right? Turkey often starts cold in the morning, especially earlier in the season. But as soon as you put a couple miles on, you're sweating like crazy, at least I am. I never had like a good solution for what to do with my layers, and that really bothered me with those vests. So I actually stopped using a turkey vest last season and just kind of abandoned the idea for this season. I went with the Eberly Stock Bandit backpack, which actually worked really good, except that my calls and everything were always behind me. So whenever I needed to set up, I kind of had to swing the pack around and grab all my stuff and get myself oriented. It wasn't just conveniently there like it's going to be on a turkey vest. So this year, in my quest to find a better pack, I did identify a larger pack that I thought I was interested in, but then I saw the Kuiu one, and it just seemed to check all the boxes right out of the gate of what I was looking for, with a larger pack, with a really cool seat, like just the way the seat functions, where it's out of the way until it's not. I don't know if you noticed it already, but it's actually like your back pad, and then it comes and slides down. I'll show you that in a minute. And it has plenty of space up front for calls and different things like that, the small stuff you need. But of course, the pack on the back is really the reason that I'm very excited about this vest. If you appreciate structured gear breakdowns and honest reviews, please subscribe to my channel if you've not. I would appreciate it. All right, I've rambled enough. Let's look at some of the features of the pack. So it's got kind of the typical little dump pocket that you have come to know from a Kuiu pack. This one's pretty small, not gonna lie, but I don't think it needs a lot, because really all the small stuff for turkey is gonna be on the front. And inside it has a little mini mesh pocket as well. If you ever have had a Kuiu bag, this is a really standard setup they have. And there's a little key hook in there as well, like a key lanyard. Okay, so you can close that up. And then the main pack, well, it has these lashes here, right? So I like lashing stuff, especially decoys. It comes in really handy for that. But the main pack opens up like this. Now inside here is this big, slightly heavy, I assume it's a turkey bag. I don't need that. I got this nice little handy carrier. That's gonna work perfectly for carrying the bird I shoot. So that bag is a waste of space and a little bit of waste of weight, and I'm not gonna use it. If you don't have a carrier like this, or if you just wanna wrap the turkey for some reason, that bag would work great. I already threw it on the floor, otherwise I'd show it to you again, but I'm sure you get the point. Inside, you have a nice, generous water bladder pouch. And there's also an interesting little pocket here. I think that probably would fit a thermocell very well. Ooh, it does. Bingo! Nice. So you could stick your thermocell there. You could unzip this. I've got some extra thermocell doodads there. thermocell spray, nice rechargeable headlamp from Night Eyes. Really loving this little guy. So those are the kind of things you could put back there. I've also got a little bit of camo face paint and this, my carry strap, right? So those things could all go back there, and that would pretty well kind of like fill that little pouch. So part of the reason I dumped all this stuff out here is because I wanted to see how what I take in the field actually would fit in here. It is a tiny bit tight in this little pocket, I am learning, as you can see. So I'm gonna use the secondary pocket and I'm gonna move some stuff into there. The things I'm gonna use even less, especially things that are a thinner kind of like profile, like that. Okay, so that should do the trick. I always keep some wipes on me. Wipes are very handy to have. My skinning and gutting knife, just because I like to have a knife with me. That and this. So my headlamp might need to go somewhere else, and I can cross that bridge because this little vest does have a lot of pack space in it. So I got my thermocell on the back now. I got pretty much everything else right up there, and some of this other stuff is gonna go in various places in a moment, which you will see. So I really wanted a spacious pack for my layers and extra water and food. So I always carry an extra water bottle with me, just force of habit. And these little water bottles are surprisingly resilient, so that can go right down there. And then this is my rain jacket. It's a Kuiu Ridge something, I think. And this is my Kuiu Northridge rain jacket. Because I'm in Tennessee, it can go from very nice to pouring quite quickly. So I would like to carry that with me as well. And that could sort of go in here. I would fiddle with it a little bit further, but for the sake of not taking up all the time in the video, there's still at least a third of that compartment left for another layer. I might wear this hoodie or something similar on a cold morning first thing, and then I could take it off and stuff it in there. Plus I have the lashing straps, and they do move around, you can see. So if I want to move them, I certainly can. Now, another nifty thing is back here, there's a little bit of gear storage space. You could like tuck a call back there or something if you really needed to like shove something out of the way and move quickly. I see this, it's not huge, but I see it as like a stash point. Like, oh shoot, I need to do something, I need my hands, so let me shove what I have back there, or gloves, call, probably too small for binoculars, but you get the point. You shove it back there, worry about it later, and it's probably not gonna come out. On the sides, you've got those leg straps that I mentioned. Before the end of this video, I will tell you what I think about those. Let's look at this seat. Okay, so the seat has this nice little, like, just slide there and Velcro. That's it. It's honestly pretty simple. I was kind of really surprised. I don't hate it, I'm gonna be honest. It just sits where it needs to, and when you need it, you just kind of like yank it out, okay? So that is a really good thing. On the front, you've got a nice magnetic pocket. This is for a box call. It's just magnetic closure. Slide the box call down in. There's also a little secondary pouch in there as well, just for like, oh, actually it's probably for like your pillow pad. So that is what's right there. On the side here is another compartment for shells and a little bit of stuff in there, and then just sort of a dump compartment. On the left-hand side, on the front, we've got another pull compartment, and that is perfect for mouth calls. So I've got some Woodhaven Hunting Public mouth calls here. So I'll shove those in there now, because I actually am going turkey scouting tomorrow, and I can't hunt, but I'm going to take this and just kind of do a dry run of how I like it. So those will go in there. And then also on that side is room for your slate, in this case, your pot call. This is from T-Rex Custom Calls. Really great guys. Took the time to teach me a lot of stuff, and it'll fit right in there like that. And then your striker can go on that side. This is a pretty long striker, so it would fit there pretty well. But those are both magnetic. I hope you can see that all right. The pack is trying to, or the vest is trying to slide down on me, but they just very nicely, but quietly, go shut, okay? And then on this side, of course, there is just extra space. It looks like there's more room for pot, or for box calls there. That will go in there like that. I will probably stick my crow call down in this pocket. And then the one thing I forgot to stick in the back, I always carry a little first aid kit with me, because it just seems like you never know when something's gonna go wrong. I've scaled it down over the years. It used to be bigger, but I usually tuck it in the back, and then this I'll fold a little differently so it's just a little flatter, and tuck it right down in. So that filled that up a little bit more, but there's still space in there for another layer. So we're going to head outside on a nice sunny day. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna show you guys how this leg strap system is supposed to work, and then if it actually works like it's intended, and I'll give you my final thoughts. So while I'm getting set up here, if you're a brand in the firearms, hunting, or outdoors industry, and you're looking for serious marketing strategy and growth from a firm that's made up of people who actually live and breathe this space, my company would love to consider working with yours. There's a link down in the video description. You can click that to learn more. All right, first time I've ever played with these foot straps. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea how this is gonna go. They've just been sitting here in this pocket. Now there is adjustment here, and put boot sole there. So I'm gonna assume you can do that. Remember, the idea of these is that you don't have a tree behind you, but you need some support. They're gonna be the stability for your body. So you guys hear that gobbler? That's my gobbler. We own one. But anyway, I like to shoot them too. So, second one there. These clip together. You can actually adjust the width between them, and you can adjust your pull there. So the idea is you should be able to like sit like this, and it's supporting your back, and you don't have a tree or anything else behind you. So you could be like this, and then the turkey comes along, you could be like. First impressions right out of the gate, I don't like my feet tethered together because I might need to move a little bit, like side to side. I'm gonna tighten that up a little bit. But like, let's say the turkey comes in from my right side, I might need to adjust that foot that direction. And when they're tethered together, then I have to move both my feet, and that's harder. It makes my base not as sturdy. Same thing if it's coming in on the left, I might need to just work a foot around a little bit and get uphill. And I still probably would move the second one, but I wouldn't move them together. That might be the big takeaway. When I'm sitting here just like this, it is actually doing a pretty good job of pulling on my lower back. And I could force myself backwards, but I'm actually reasonably comfortably sitting upright, and I'm not thinking too much about it. It's just sort of happening because my feet are pushing down and they're pulling the straps. As you guys can see, it's been pretty easy to adjust the straps based on whether I wanted it tighter or looser. Like if I did need to like stretch my leg or something, I can just easily do that. And then, you know, if action's starting to get a little more interesting, I could just pull it back in like that and then be back in the zone real fast. So deployment time was pretty quick on that, as you could see, just a few seconds. Assuming you don't literally have a gobbler barreling, thundering down your barrel, you could probably roll this out in 30 seconds or less. I definitely think this is the type of thing where you're in a less than desirable spot and you just need to set up very quickly and there's no good trees around. My best friend and I have actually hunted in spots where there's a lot of little pine trees around, but there's nothing really to put your back against. This would have been amazing there. I think I have some video footage of that. If I can find that, I'll put it on top of this as B-roll and you can see what I'm talking about. It was in power lines. It was just a little brush, but I remember being super uncomfortable. We did end up smoking that gobbler, which was cool, but we had to sit there for a fair bit of time without back support, and that kind of sucked. So this didn't really jump out to me as an amazing feature, but first impression on it, I actually probably would use this, especially in situations like the one I just described. So at the end of the day, the Kuiu Rival turkey vest, I think actually has a lot of great features, including this leg strap system. I can't say it's gonna come out every time I sit down, but I don't think that's the point either. I think it's got a lot of utility there, and if you don't need it, it's like a couple ounces worth of straps and it tucks away nicely on the side of the vest. Overall, I have used the vest for some scouting at this point already. I was pleased with the layout of it while I was out for a couple hours. I was able to keep a water bottle on me without any issue. I was able to get to my calls easily where I wanted them to be. And it also felt very lightweight and reasonably breathable, which is, you know, pretty important with a turkey vest because it definitely gets hot during turkey season. So hands down, I'm excited to get this vest out. Our season opens in a couple weeks. Probably by the time you're watching this video, the season has opened. If you need something to watch next, probably at the end of this video, there is my post-season recap on my thoughts of this vest after using it. So if you're considering getting this, you might find that there, and then you'll see how I actually like this after a season of using it. So once I've had this out in the woods for a full season, I'll do a full field review, and that's what you can watch next.